What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Panda here, and today we're playing some Watcher of Realms. Guys, if you haven't already noticed, the Wasteland Titan is live in the game at the moment for the second boss of the Immortal Codex, and we are going to make some crazy progression in regards to this fight. So I'm currently on the team setup page, and we are going to show you the team that I'm using, as well as do a run so that you can see how one champion can make a crazy difference when it comes to this fight, and probably several other fights as well. Let's dive right into it. And welcome back, guys. So again, we are going to set this team up, and if you haven't already seen my videos over the past week or so, you'll know that we pulled a very good champion whose name is Elwyn. And she does a crazy thing for this fight. So we're going to take a look real quick at her kit so you can see some of the crazy stuff that she does, which helps a lot when it comes to this Immortal Codex. So first things first, she's an attack-based healer. She heals 3 allies in range. This is great because there's a ton of allies in her range. So she's going to be healing them all the time. She also has this wood elf, and this wood elf means that she can be healing the right side, and I can use the elf to heal the left side, which is really good as well. Then we have probably the best part of the kit, which is the Nature's Favor, which is the ability to restore rage for all allies, no matter whether they're in her range or not. This is really good because of the fact that it allows you to get more ultimates off over time. And then, of course, this is actually probably more important specifically in Immortal Codex, and that is her ultimate. Her ultimate dispels all debuffs. Now, if you don't know how the Wasteland Titan works, the Titan will deal damage to everyone on the field and apply a heal reduction debuff. The ability to dispel said debuff is what's going to allow you to actually stay alive in the fight, because eventually those debuffs will stack up so high that your healing won't do anything. And so having a dispel is really powerful, and there are very few champions in the game that have it, one of which is Elwyn. The other one is an epic, which you'll see here on my roster as well. We're going to go ahead and add everyone in. And it's Midan, right? So Midan is the other person that has a dispel on her ultimate. Really nice. But we are running what I think is a relatively obtainable fight, right? We're using 4 epics with Midan, who's probably one of the highest percent drops when it comes to epics in the game. We've got Hollow, who has had several 10x's in the past few months. We've got Vortex, who again is pretty high up there on the roster. And then we have Nisande, who has some pretty crazy progression for me and skyrocket in ability because of the fact that we have her at a 3, which means that just by having her on the field, she's going to give 30 attack speed to all of your heroes. But then also she has this passive here, which increases attack speed for allies, which is really powerful as well. I am actually curious if it would make sense to take her to A5, because I do actually have 2 soul stones, so that may be something that I do a little bit later, but I'm not sure if it's something I want to do quite yet. And then we have Gwendolyn. Personally, Gwendolyn is good here, but I don't think she's crazy good, simply because of the fact that the shield is just on a single target. And then it's half on everyone else, right? So it's nothing super crazy. However, by having that shield, it does allow you to absorb a decent extra chunk of damage, which can be very good. Other than that, I mean, it's nothing super crazy. I think she's really good, and of course, there's a lot of room to grow here with skill ups and such, because I just have other champions that are higher up on my tier list in terms of what's getting skill ups. Like, for example, Elwyn is going to be getting these skill ups, right? Because I want to get this passive for Guild Boss particularly, and of course, that'll help in Wasteland Titan as well. But let's just dive sorry about that. Let's dive real quick into the gear. So we're basically just building them as, healers, right? I do know that there is a little bit of a strategy when it comes to building HP because of the way that this works. It does restore HP based on the target's max HP and the caster's attack. So by adding a ton of HP to your champions, you are getting a little bit of extra healing with that. But I'm unsure of the specifics of that. So if you happen to know the specifics of like the scaling of that, let me know in the comment section below or reach out to me on Discord. I would love to have that specific information. But other than that, we are just building our healers as they should be built, whether they're attack based or HP based. We're also using a euphoric orb on Elowin and a euphoric orb on Hollow, as you can see here. And we also have some other pretty interesting artifacts. Here we have a Taya's Bomb. This increases healing multiplier by 30% when healing a hero with less than 30% HP. I think this is really good because of the fact that when the Titan does his slam, it's going to probably drop your characters pretty low as you get further into the fight. So I actually have several of those equipped on different people. We also have the Elysian Epitaph. This just increases healing effect by 3% for every ally in range. This is really nice. It just gives them 12% healing. I like that. Then we have Midon here, who has a Taya's Bomb as well. Gwendolyn here has a Taya's Bomb as well. And I think that's it, right? Yeah, I think that's everybody. So let's go ahead and quickly dive in. I'm going to go ahead and just run this on an auto battle. You'll see here we've gotten a very good score. And this is what I was talking about when I was saying that one champion is literally the difference in a crazy good score, right? And remember in the last time I did have a good score, but this is way better than the previous score that I was able to achieve. So let's just quickly go into an auto fight. I'll kind of walk you through how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. First things first, we're placing everyone in the spots that they're in for a couple different reasons. One, I want Midon to be able to cleanse as many debuffs as possible, and I want to make sure that we're cleansing the main tower because the main tower does the most damage out of all of these towers. We also have our Elowin here to dispel, again, as many as possible. So we're getting a good chunk of dispels by placing them in these locations. We also have Nisande here, who is healing all 4 of these targets and also 3 of our allies, right? Which is really, really powerful. We're also getting the attack speed increase on our Vortex, our Midon, and our Gwendolyn. And this is really good as well because of the fact that we're gaining a good chunk of attack speed just by having her on the field. Then we have Hollow to heal the right side and Vortex to heal the left side, which is keeping it so that our heals are relatively spread, but we're able to get a good chunk of survivability. Now, in this first phase, we're just basically healing the single target, so using ultimates makes absolutely no sense. So because of that, we're just going to let the one Iona go ahead and deal damage to the boss. Now, once we get into the second phase where he starts to do a ton of damage and we have all of them available, we're going to quickly activate our ultimates in a way where we're healing as often as possible. However, we're not going to try and overlap so we're healing everything at the same time. And then from there, I literally just hit the auto button and let the ultimates go as possible. Now, again, you could go through and time things a little bit better using your cleanses and your damage reductions at certain times, especially if you're doing something like the Sadie comp, but I don't have Sadie, and so this is the way that I found worked the best. I did several different attempts, and by doing this, it was the easiest because I didn't have to put a ton of, thought into how I was playing, and it also just gave me a ton of extra survivability this way. There is potentially some, changes I could do when it comes to placements here. Like, for example, my Hollow in the location that she's in is actually only providing rage to Gwendolyn and Elowin, which definitely could be increased, if I were to get a little bit of extra rage on the team. But overall, I think that this is a very, very good setup. We're getting a lot of score from this. And you'll see we're actually making it to pretty far into the fight. We actually made it to about, I think, like 40 seconds before. So there's a little bit of growth we could do here for sure. But ultimately, guys, I mean, we're getting a good score overall. And I'm really, really proud of the score. So hopefully I can get a better score as time progresses, but ultimately being in top 3% for Wasteland Titan and also being in top 5% for Conqueror is really, really nice. I'm also hoping that with the changes that they've made to the Styx fight, we're actually able to make some extra progression there and maybe be able to get top 5% in all 3 of them. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. It was just a real quick video, kind of like how I've increased my Wasteland Titan with literally just one champion. And again, guys, literally that one champion could be the game changer on your account. So I think it's definitely something interesting to keep in mind when you are doing your attempts on the Immortal Codex. And also keep in mind that you don't need to just do one run and be done. You can definitely do as many runs as you want throughout the next 8 to 10 days and get a lot of progression that way. But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment down below with what your score has been so far on both Conqueror and Wasteland Titan. I'm very interested to see what that is. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when all my content goes live. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.